fans, and welcome to our Coach's Corner for this week. I'm joined by head men's and women's tennis coach Simon Earnshaw as we take a look at the Pirate tennis team's fall season so far. And Coach Earnshaw, you play in the fall and in the spring. Obviously, spring is your dual match season, but right now you're in the fall. Tell us a little bit about what tennis teams typically try to get done in the fall with their competition.
Well, the fall differs from the spring in the nature of the events that we play. In the fall we play individual tournaments, so we're focusing more on each player as an individual. Obviously the matches then in the spring are dual matches where we compete directly against other universities. So we can work on a lot of development type things that kind of sometimes get lost in the scheme of things in the spring, where we're working on bigger themes with the team as a whole. Now, obviously there's a team component in the fall because we're all part of the same squad at the end of the day, but we can be more specific, and we can get a lot of matches in a very short period of time against a lot of different opponents. And I think it's, especially for the new players, it kind of brings them in a little more slowly than throwing them to the wolves, as you might see sometimes with the players that start in January.
Now, one of the tournaments that you just finished competing in is the ITA Southeast Regional. It's a different tournament in that you actually qualify through this regional for a national tournament, and the Pirates had some very good results this weekend in the regional.
Yeah, I guess in the overall scheme of things, the ITA regionals are the most important events of the fall. It's the event where we really see how we match up against the Division II opponents within our region, and then obviously if you then qualify, you get to play against the winners of each of the other 8 regions in the nation. So yeah, it's an interesting tournament in that you play a lot in a very short period of time, but also some of our players get to play against some opponents that they wouldn't see ordinarily. Let's say, for example, Mattis was playing at number 4 in the lineup most of the season last year. Well, he has the opportunity to play against some of the players that are fairly highly ranked, and would be playing 1 and 2 that he would never ordinarily get to see. And so it's a good opportunity for, let's say, a young player who's been developing to step up and us get a good indicator of, let's say, what he's been doing over the summer, or where they are in their game as they continue to grow over the time period here. The events, we really did well. We sort of target this event, and our goals are to win each of the events, men's and women's singles and the men's and women's doubles. We've never actually managed to accomplish that, but this time around things just kind of fell our way, and we were able to do so.
Hidalgo Bonet will compete in the men's singles. He won it the Division II 2 years ago. And then you have Alita Muller-Vellau, who won the women's singles. She's always been right there at the cusp of winning the regional, finally broke through for the win this week.
Yeah, Hidalgo came in as a freshman and just hit the ground running and really played some tremendous tennis. Last year was kind of a difficult year for him. He had a problem with his back, and that really affected his confidence and mobility. But I think we were expecting him to come back strong, and I think he really felt motivation in that he wasn't able to perform at his best, certainly last spring. Now, Alita has always been kind of held back by the players we've had on our team that played above her in the lineup, and equally it's been kind of a process with her to get her to really believe in herself, that she belongs playing at that level. And she actually lost in the singles final 2 straight years, and the doubles final 2 straight years. So this was a big thing for her, and we've been targeting it essentially since the end of the season, and the fact that she was able to carry it off, she's got to be commended on that, because I feel she was putting a lot of pressure on herself to perform, knowing her history at this particular event.
Now, the doubles teams, you had one new team capture the doubles title, and that was Alita playing with Barbara Kurtova, one of your new players. And then last year's #1 doubles team on the men's side, Rafael Rey and Mick Erdoya, captured the doubles title.
Yeah, Rafael and Mick, we felt coming into this that this was a good opportunity for them. Now, obviously, sometimes their participation in the singles can affect their ability to do well in the doubles. We've seen that in the past where players have gone deep in the singles and it's actually kind of knocked them out of the doubles event, whether it be for fatigue or certain types of loss of condition. But they were strong the whole way through, and we felt really at the end of last season that they were gelling well together and they'd kind of got the mix, and they've pretty much continued on from that. And I think that with both of them being seniors, that's a nice thing for both of them. Rafael has been right at the top of our lineup now all 4 years he's been here, and never actually managed to win the doubles title, so that's a good thing. Alida, it's funny, you put her with a new partner and all of a sudden she breaks through. She played for 3 years with Martina Beckman, who's our career wins leader in doubles, and just for one reason or another it didn't work out for them to win this particular event despite their successes, particularly in the spring. But I actually didn't see that much of their doubles play over the weekend, but they seem to have good potential. Barbara certainly has some hands and can add some stability for Alida at the net, and I think Alida feels pretty good about her ball striking in general, and so hopefully that's going to be a good combination. Just don't really know where their high end is at this point in time.
All right, well, take us through the rest of what's going to be your fall schedule. You have some more tournaments you're traveling to, plus you have the small college championships that the players we touched on will be competing on in October.
Yeah, we have a lot of events. We tried to cram them into the 45-day window, and those windows don't run concurrently for each of the programs because there would be no way that we could get the players out there to all the events. We're currently kind of in the middle of things with the men. The women, on the other hand, we just started this past weekend with that 45 days. So we'll be heading to Georgia Tech this weekend. That's usually a nice event. Georgia Tech, Georgia, Auburn, Tennessee were in the event last year, so we get to see some SEC schools and get to see how we match up against them. I think it's good for us to get outside of Division II and see some different opponents, and equally we can pick up on some different ideas from that type of experience. We then follow that the week after with the Varna Memorial Tournament at Rollins. That's again, it's a mixture of Division II, some junior college teams, and potentially maybe Stetson or Central Florida will be there. Last year it was incredibly a hot event. Mick won the singles. We're not really sure which players will be participating in that event at this point in time. We just got to see how this week goes, and obviously then that's followed with the ITA national event, and the men will have played 3 or 4 weeks in a row at that point, so it's going to affect which players we carry. The ladies will probably be going with Joanna. She needs the experience. Kathleen's picking her game up tremendously. Last year she won the B draw at Rollins, so hopefully we can move her up to the A draw and see how she goes. Then we'll be over with the men's portion of the fall schedule after the ITA national event, unless obviously one of them would progress from that event, and we move more into traveling with the girls. We're going to play a tournament at University of Kansas, and we're going to follow that at College of Charleston, and the final event of the fall with maybe somebody qualifying for the ITA indoors, which we've actually qualified 2 girls 2 of the last 3 years, and also a tournament at Baylor, who are obviously a perennial power in Division I, and again it gives us a look at, well, it's not really that relevant, but high-level players in that area of the country from some of the, well, what remains of the Big 12 schools at this point in time.
All right, well, thanks for spending some time with us today, and good luck the rest of the fall season. We'll be following along as the Pirates compete not only in the other fall tournaments, but at the Small College National Championships in Mobile, and that's October 14th through 17th.